CEOs are jumping ship. That's what they're doing. As the economy gets worse, CEOs are leaving. Some of the major CEO departures this year include the CEO of Harley Davidson. Harley Davidson, not a gigantic company, but a much bigger company, Lucid Motors. Peter Rawlson, at some point, Lucid and Rivian each awarded CEOs more than $400 million in pay last year. Now, obviously, this is 2021, and this is the performance they got from it, right? Down 97%. Nike CEO John Donahoe is out as well. He is being replaced by Elliott Hill, another long-term veteran of the company. Hill worked for Nike for 32 years. One of the most recent, a very recent article, Apple is ramping up succession plans for CEO Tim Cook and may tap this hardware exec to take over. Apple's board of directors and senior executives have been accelerating succession plans for Tim Cook after serving as CEO for 14 years. Cook may step down as early as next year, the report wrote. It seems quite likely. Cook has been running the company since 2011 and has done an immaculate job, really. Apple's senior vice president of hardware engineering, 50-year-old John Turnus, is widely seen as the most likely successor, but no final decisions have been made. The engineer joined Apple's product design team in 2001 and has overseen hardware engineering for most major products. He played a prominent role in Apple's most recent keynotes, introducing products like the new iPhone Air, and has been rumored to be Cook's potential successor. Now, it seems like this sort of makes sense. Apple is sort of at an interesting moment currently where they are very firmly behind a lot of the AI companies, and that's sort of by design. Apple doesn't necessarily wish to compete with a lot of the AI companies. They basically said this outright. They have in-house AIs. They're not integrating them into their products nearly as much. Now, obviously, you have Siri and Apple Intelligence, whatever. They sort of have a big show of this earlier in the year. They're not spending nearly as much on data centers. They're not spending nearly as much on just general AI development. They're just kind of like in their own lane, doing their hardware stuff. And so it sort of makes sense as Apple moves into this moment that they're going to name a new CEO and it's going to be the hardware guy. Apple doesn't care necessarily about AI, or at least they don't care about AI as much as every other major Mag 7 company. They're just like, hey, they actually even talked about this. They've been spending significantly less in AI investments compared to all of the other Mag 7. They've been criticized by this by analysts saying, hey, your AI strategy is kind of all over the place. What are you guys doing over there? And it's even, been reported that Apple is talking to OpenAI and Anthropic for powering Siri. So they might just abandon this whole AI thing altogether, which honestly seems like a very smart strategic move. Apple very likely is not going to be a forefront and the leader of AI. They're already so far behind everybody else, right? Google's been doing it for years. Meta's been doing it for years. They sort of have all of these in-house AIs already built. OpenAI is obviously unlimited money. They're building the best AIs in the world, Anthropic also. And so it looks like Apple realizes this, that we don't really stand a chance in building the next great AI. So instead of appointing a new CEO who's going to be an AI first CEO and attempt to fight in this market that very likely we're not going to win in, why don't we just use the AIs that are already on the market, integrate them into our products, and then just continue to build great products and continue to sort of have this walled garden. I'm sure this hurts Apple quite a lot because Apple has this walled garden and they like to Applify everything. If Turnus does get appointed, then it will be confirmation that Apple does not care about AI. They don't care about investing in AI. They care about making a great hardware product. Maybe that means acceleration into smart glasses or, acceleration into the sort of AR, XR space, which was kind of very popular, had its moment last year. Yeah, Apple wants to remain a hardware company. And I think if Turnus does get the appointment, this dude helped create the iPad, the iPhone, the original stuff, the iPod, the iPhone, the iPad, key Apple products. And so this guy has the experience to create good hardware. Let everybody else burn tons of cash fighting over creating the next AI, and we'll just create good hardware. And also, maybe one of the things Apple might see is this sort of boom of AI companion apps as well as AI companion hardware. So this is like things like the Rabbit or Friend. These AI companion apps where we're like building chatbots like Replica and Character and Chai and all these like basically chatbots that people interact with and are sort of becoming replacements for like real life interactions. Terrifying stuff. More and more are getting released, and maybe Apple sees this and maybe they see this as sort of the go forward trend that they want to try and get a hold of. If they appoint a CEO who's a hardware CEO, then maybe he might be more well equipped to sort of integrate this sort of AI companion software not only into future Apple products, but maybe even create an Apple product that is this AI companion for everyday use. Another big CEO stepping down, this was Walmart CEO. Doug Mcmillon is stepping down. Doug Mcmillon will be replaced by John Furner on February 1st of 2026. Furner is currently the CEO and president of Walmart's U.S. operations. The transition comes amid a tumultuous time for retailers as tariffs and sinking consumer sentiment has roiled the industry's bottom lines. Consumer sentiment is at literally an all-time low, which is not great for retailers. Yet, Walmart under Mcmillon has overcome many of the issues that have plagued competitors. Its supply chain dominance and grocery prowess has allowed Walmart to offer rock-bottom prices on necessities, attracting customers across a wide range of income groups. The company reported in its most recent earnings call that its fastest-growing consumer segment includes households who earn more than $100,000 a year. Mcmillon also oversaw the company's transition to a major e-commerce competitor, offering a strong alternative to Amazon and a significant growth engine for Walmart. This is Walmart Plus, which is seen as a sort of nascent rival to Amazon Prime. And it very much so is. Somewhat concerning, I think, is the amount of CEOs that are leaving their posts. Especially the big CEOs. Nike, Apple, and Walmart all losing their CEOs around the same time. That's crazy.